Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, including news we are at the brink in the US. In the Congress, hopes were high early in the day that a deal was near, but the Republican lower house pushed forward a highly partisan compromise that was quickly rejected by Democrats, and the gloom overwhelmed the issue again. Earlier work by senators is now where common ground is being sought. All this is hard to reconcile with House Republican leaders saying that the US will not default. It is clear he is not in charge of his party in his chamber. One day to go. Impacts of this gridlock are starting to be felt and will probably grow quickly if the deal can't be done. US hiring is stalling, car sales are declining rapidly, and the rich are getting worried. The blowback on New Zealand could come fairly fast via China and Australia. The early sign of a deal saw the gold price fall back to $1,250 an ounce, but it is now in the $1,270 range now that the news evaporated. Ditto for the Dow, which is now down in mid-afternoon trade, and US Treasury 10-year yields are rising, now at 2.72%. At this stage, markets are forced to think the unthinkable, and it turns out few institutions are prepared for the consequence of an actual default. Even now, some traders are thinking we will get through this mess, but there will be bigger trouble next year. It is hard to bet against more can-kicking. In China, a little-noticed edict from Beijing may well impact us too. The government there has instructed its companies to cut back on overcapacity in some very big industries, a move that will no doubt cause short-term effects that will lower demand. Meanwhile, in our corner of the world, we got the latest Fonterra auction results this morning, and they were a 1.9% fall in US dollars and a 3% fall in New Zealand dollars. And later this morning we get third quarter CPI, which is unlikely to signal concerns. The New Zealand dollar starts today higher again at 83.7 US cents, 87.9 Aussie cents, and the TWI is now up to 77.7. I'm David Chaston, and that was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.